Yes, I give the name of this here video, When a Nut Job Tells You the Truth. And I'm not referring to him as a nut job, but I gave the name of that video to that. Most of you already know who this is. It's David Icke, okay? For those of you who don't know who he is. But, I was a nut job myself. I came up here and told you about TFL and gave a name to an existing problem in our society called true forced loneliness years back. I did a bunch of research and did a whole bunch of political videos on NWO, New World Order, and their agenda. And I was a nut job and I was attacked over and over because there's no such thing as true forced loneliness. Because we all know that a guy could never be, nobody could be forced to be alone, because we all know that you can force somebody to want to be with you, right? Now, you can't force somebody to want to be with you without kidnapping or abducting or something that's going to put you in prison, right? Right. But they can reject you, and you can be stereotyped out in our society and pushed out. Okay, and we all know this to be true, but I was in that job, it didn't exist, and I was attacked over and over and over and over for a long time. And then when I started talking political in and tying the dating arena into NWO, oh man, I was a total nut job again. That's right. So I've been a nut job for years already. I'm quite used to it. And this guy right here, well, he was called a nut job too. That's right, even when he's telling you the truth. And I'm not going to show you any propaganda. I suspect the guy's an agent. There's a lot of people that are awake to suspect the same thing. I've caught this guy in the hours that I've been watching him telling some, well, propaganda, but the majority of what I've caught him telling you is the truth. And that's like all people that are agents or plants. They tell you a whole bunch of truth. Even Alex Jones told a lot of truth, but he also told a lot of lies as well. And it's the lies is the propaganda that you got to be careful of. But what he's telling you here is all 100% truth. As a matter of fact, for the manosphere who don't like looking into this stuff, I got some other stuff from David Icke that I'm going to post up on my channel where he tells you the 100% truth. Because for the manosphere who are turning their back to this and calling us nuts that don't want to look into it, I guess it needs to be shoved in their face a little bit. That's right. And I'm going to use this guy to shove it in your face because this guy's telling you the truth. And you're going to say, well, but he blah, 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 and he's a nut job. Well, I'm a nut job too, remember? So from one nut job to another nut job, I don't care what names you call me. I don't care what you think of me. Okay? And I'm sure this man right here don't care what names you call him. He don't care what you think of him. So if he's a nut job and I'm a nut job, at least we're on the same page, right? Yeah. So I'm doing this because this is for us nut jobs, myself and Mr. Icke here, when a nut job tells you the truth. So he's going to tell you some truth, and I'm going to show you his reality right in your face. So when you want to say he's full of it or I'm full of it, then you can explain away what's right in your face. So watch out.
A process of preparation, of getting people, first of all, stage one, addicted to technology that they hold, holdables, smartphones, tablets. That's basically achieved. You just have to walk through a city and you see the addiction. And they're targeting specifically the young. Why? Because the young of today and children of today are going to be the adults when they want to bring this AI connection in full blown. For that to happen, they have to get people addicted to technology to the point where they'll accept it and where it's the most natural thing in the world. I'm coming up 67. I was born in 1952, so I have a compass. I know what the world was like before. People being born into the world now, this is the only world they've ever known. And so, they don't have that compass of what the world was like before. But this is the world and technology, and this is how it works. And I know from the time I've lived just how recent this is and how fast it's come in, like out of almost nowhere. And so the first stage is to get people addicted to technology to the point where, at the most extreme, they'll get up in the dead of night and they'll queue, stand in line outside an Apple store to get the first of the new technology. And what they want eventually, and not too distant into the future, is people basically lining up to be connected to AI. In the same way that people in Sweden now are having parties to celebrate someone being microchipped, right? This is all this connects. So the next stage, because the idea is to get in the body, the next stage is to get on the body. So we went from just holdables, we went to wearables, we went to Bluetooth and Google Glass and Apple Watches and all these other gadgets that go on the body now. Even what they call electronic tattoos that are basically microchips on the skin. And the next stage is to go in the body, which is already starting in places like Sweden. And the idea is to take this on, and people like Ray Kurzweil, who is a Google executive. I mean, Google and Facebook are really at the cutting edge of this stuff. People think it's a social media operation only or a search engine only. No. This whole Google group now, which is given the name Alphabet, are absolutely at the cutting edge of this whole AI technology. So is Amazon. Amazon's got contracts worth hundreds of millions of dollars with the CIA and the Pentagon for cloud services and stuff.
Yeah, they have massive data services.
Massive, yeah.
Consumers don't see.
So the idea is to take this on. And what Kurzweil is saying, and he claims an 80% success rate in his predictions of incoming technology and when it will come in. But, you know, if you know when it's going to come in, then you've got a great chance of predicting it, haven't you? You know, it's like if you know when a stock market's going to fall because the people you are connected to are going to make it fall, well, you're going to get out just before it falls and you're going to get in just before you know they're going to push it up. I mean, you know, you don't have to be, you know, Nostradamus if you know the script.
But
anyway,
if this was his agenda, maybe he shouldn't tell us.
Yeah.
Or is it so clever that he's telling us?
No, this is why he's telling us. It's the sales pitch.
Okay.
The sales pitch, and this is why they're being...
We have the illusion of choice that we're going to be a part of it.
This is the sales pitch, and this is why they're telling you. The sales pitch is when we connect to artificial intelligence, we'll be superhuman. That's what the sales pitch is. That's his sales pitch.
Right.
That's going
Siri,
to be the sales pitch.
Alexa, all these things.
Yeah. Well, I'll come to them in a second. They're very, very interesting, very important.
Okay.
So what you've got is the idea that connect to AI and you'll become superhuman intelligent. No, you'll become subhuman intelligent. You'll become a vehicle for artificial intelligence. And whoever controls artificial intelligence will control the perceptions of every mind that it's connected to. And that's the sales pitch, but then that's the reality of what it really means. Now, if you're going to make a physical connection with AI, you're not going to do that on a mass scale until you've made a psychological connection. And there is a process, a psychological process, which is known as preemptive programming. Preemptive programming is this. You're going to usher in a world that is so different, so dramatically different to what anyone's been used to, that you're going to have an obvious resistance purely by the chasm of difference between the world people are used to and the world you're taking them into. A resistance that says, hold on a minute, you want to do what? 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 So you prepare them for it through preemptive programming. You put out a stream of movies out of elite-controlled Hollywood. You put out television programs, you put out books, you put out all these things that basically portray the world you want to take people into. This is why you've seen so many movies about control by robots, control by technology, of synthetic humans, which has the transgender agenda very much a part of it, connected to it. You have the synthetic humans, consciousness going into synthetic humans. You have the dystopian society being portrayed and portrayed and portrayed. And what that's doing, it's making the subconscious, to an extent the conscious mind, familiar with the world you want to usher in. So when you literally start to bring it in, there's not that chasm that there would have been before. There is almost a familiarity with it because you prepared people by portraying it over and over again in movies. And another part of this psychological connection with artificial intelligence, so we'll accept the outcome that I've talked about, is these Alexas and these Echoes and these so-called office assistants or personal assistants. Because people, I've met people who've got one in every room. And you start to interact with them as if they're human. And now they're bringing in internet-connected toys for kids, even little kids, and Barbie dolls that they can actually have conversations with artificial intelligence. They're now bringing in these robots that are these synthetic robots that are looking more and more like humans. A lot of them coming in from the East. And this is a whole psychological process of familiarizing us with artificial intelligence, to getting people to interact with it until it becomes the most natural thing in the world.
Well, is this a positive thing? What if it makes us live better lives? Could it be?
Well, if you want to use artificial intelligence to make things happen in a more efficient way, well, there's an argument for that. But that's not an argument for connecting AI to the human brain and the human perceptual processes, so that artificial intelligence becomes those processes. And I'm not just saying that. Ray Kurzweil says this, that by 2030, the connections will start to be made between artificial intelligence and the human brain. And the human brain will be connected to what he calls the cloud. Another name for this is the smart grid, basically to artificial intelligence. And he says this too, because his sales pitch is it will be fantastic, it will be superhuman, that as time passes, artificial intelligence will be more and more of human thinking and human perception until basically it's the totality of human thinking and human perception, at which point we won't be human anymore in terms of the consciousness processes we are using today. We will be artificial intelligence. And this is the assimilation I'm talking about. And the point is that if you are connecting the human mind to a grid, a global technological grid, that grid can be centrally controlled. It will take at the center point very, very few people to run it, and even fewer to decide how it's run.
And that's absolutely correct. Everything he told you there is where we're headed. What he just talked about is social conditioning, social engineering. What he just talked about is conditioning, it's grooming. It's like some pedophile or predator grooming a child for sex. Okay, well, what we're doing is we're grooming a population to lead them to where we want them, okay? So, what do? Just like he told you. We use Hollywood, which is elite controlled. We've created movies and we conditioned you because you see all these different movies, okay, that fit right into this. We have the iBot, that movie. We have Hunger Games. We have all kinds of different movies we've had. What is that? Well, we've taken androids, we've turned a human into a robot now. Okay? We got all kinds of movies, so he's correct about that. And that was conditioning. That was to set your mind. Okay, that's really what that was for. And then we come along in today's society and we look at this is what YouTube is flying right now.
Reality doesn't believe in the impossible. It doesn't believe in moving without limits or breaking the laws of physics. Reality will never let you enter magical realms. Will never let you stop time or wield a lightsaber. But that doesn't mean you can't. You can have more than one body. You can have more than one world to explore. Because reality is yours to defy.
So there's your wearable right in your face. See, here it is. What he was just talking about. Okay, you go, well, but this is a game. Yeah. Movies. Now we got games. We got the wearables. That's right. When we're getting ready to bring G5 in, so that you can have Wi-Fi, you can have the signals everywhere. Okay? It's all in your face. Here's Amazon. Oh, by golly, he was just talking about Amazon, wasn't he? Oh, but there it is. This is what you just seen that YouTube's promoting right now. That's right. What's Google's pushing right now? What is this? This is the wearables. This is exactly what he just told you about. Here it is, in your face. You could buy this newest technology right now. So no, he's not off base on anything he's telling you. He has told you the truth. This is where we're going. It's no different than Uber, the live stream I did yesterday. We are going to use this, the people of this country, and manipulate them for the tool, for very little of the tool at that, to use their own vehicles to give them a little bit of the tool, money, and where we don't have to have a profit because it's being supported and paid for by the elite, by the banking system, so there don't have to be a profit because there's an agenda. And the agenda is to use Uber to run taxi companies out of business and bus lines out of business. To take the monopoly on the transportation system. That's right, and take it out of the private individual's hands. That's what that's about. This is all NWO related. Every last bit of this. So whether you're gaming on Xbox, whether you're buying these virtual reality headsets, see, here's your wearables. Right in your face. Exactly what he just told you about. So you go ahead and keep turning your back. Because this is being aimed at your young. And all this new technology is being aimed at the young. And you're going to start putting this stuff on and you're going to be buying into this. And how many gamers do we already have? Come on. You know the answer to that. The gaming industry took off. It's gigantic. The movies from Hollywood. Social engineering. Conditioning. Grooming. This is what's going on right now. Is the conditioning and the grooming. To set the mindset. So that you will accept And exactly what he said is true. It's all part of NWO. Just like in the dating arena. Grooming, conditioning, programming, social engineering. Programming one gender to this and the other gender to that. The feminist movement. See, the feminist movement now is going to be on the back burner. Because we have the transsexual, the LBG. We have this. This is now the new thing that's going to trump. Ain't that convenient how our president's last name, your puppet's last name, your puppet, that's right, not your chief and leader, your puppet's last name, Trump. Well, let's use his last name for a moment there for you that I've given you. See, the LGB and transsexual agenda is going to trump the feminist movement. So the women are going to find out, the feminist women and feminist men, vaginas, are going to find out their cries aren't being heard no more. Because if they say anything against the LBG, you know, the gay and lesbian community or the transsexual community, these feminists will be in trouble just like they've done to the men. So now we have the division of the genders, which is successful. And the nut job I am gave you a name to a problem that just happens to be affecting millions of men all over the world that now see it and are living it and understanding it. But they're not understanding where it came from. The majority ain't. And this is the reason I keep pushing that in your face, understanding where it's coming from. It came from the same place that all this stuff came from. NWO. Social engineering. Grooming, conditioning, programming. It's done in steps, and it's throughout years. So yeah, the agenda is exactly that. You are being conditioned, you are being groomed, and you're being set up so that you will accept without resistance. Then you'll be in them lines waiting outside them stores to get that chip put in yourself. And as the years goes by and the conditioning progresses, that's exactly right. AI inside the body. We conditioned you, here's your wearables, and we get you AI inside your body where it's being controlled and run by a handful of people, very few, at the top, who eventually your mind will be taken over by AI once it's in your body. Now they will be putting your thoughts in your head and programming you, and you will no longer have no self-consciousness. And don't fool yourself for once for 1 minute with the sex bots and think that you're going to have a sex bot that's going to give artificial life or give life. That won't happen. That's strictly against the agenda. It will not happen. They want to, as much as I believe that both genders need to have equal rights, and you need to take your mind off the differences, acknowledge the differences between a man and a woman, yes. Don't never forget there's differences, acknowledgement. But it's not the focus point between the genders, because when you take the differences and put that as the focus point, now you get the fighting and the division, and you don't get along, and you get the self-destruction of the genders. You help the feminist movement, you help them with destroying the family unit. Just like when sex becomes the focus of the relationship, you destroy the relationship. Just like with friendship between man and woman. Men and women cannot just be friends. Well, no friendship, no relationship, no communication, no relationship. You're breaking up the family unit completely, which has already happened, right? Now, here's your next step right in your face. Here it is, right in your face. See, the other nut job like myself, you know, this nut job here, he's a lot like me. We have something in common, don't we? We're both nut jobs. But he's like me in that aspect that, see, he don't care what you think. I don't care what you think neither. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell you this guy is telling you one hell of a lot of truth. He's not lying to you about this. I got more that I'm going to be putting on my channel from him where he is telling you the truth. And why am I going to put this stuff up? Even though it's already up. Because I'm trying to direct it towards the manosphere. So that the TFLers and the incels will start looking and educating themselves to why the problem between the genders really exists. And people that are fraudulent MGTOWers, men going their own way, that are wanting this sex bot, who are thinking this is finally is going to be better than a woman. They got you. NWO is hook, line, and sinker got you. You're promoting sex dolls and sex bots. Just exactly what they wanted you to do. See, this is the problem. This is why it's so important to understand what I'm telling you. And yes, I'm a nut job, okay? I was the nut. TFL don't exist. Now here we are, what, 11, 12 years later, or what have you, and we got millions and millions of men all over the world living TFL, and we got more and more people coming forward, and even Forever Alone. All these guys calling themselves Forever Alone. They're talking about the exact same problems that TFL is, that Incel is. Yeah, see, it's all one and the same with a bunch of different names. And it all came from the same place that this is coming from. What he told you here is true. It's not lies. It's factual. It's in your face. So I'm showing you this because you need to wake up and smell the roses. Smell reality instead of illusions. Wake up. To the manosphere, definitely wake up. The problems you're living in the manosphere come from this arena. Anyhow, with that being said, I'm out of here, but I wanted to show you this.